The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Today we're talking about how AMC is irrational and how it can stay exactly where it is for much longer than I can trade it with options, with puts, with short selling, and, well, buying the dip. Talking about it right here in this video. AMC, it's irrational. What's going on, guys? So there's a famous saying in the stock market that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And I thought a lot about this saying because I've heard this saying before in the past from other traders and investors. I've heard this saying throughout my career as a day trader, as an investor. And we've seen this in the past as well with companies like Herbalife, where Herbalife clearly is a major Ponzi scheme, but, well, the market didn't really care. And even when people had a very strong short thesis, it still ended up going higher. Now, today I want to talk about AMC. And the reason that I'm talking about AMC today is because I have thought about it a lot over the weekend. I've thought about the stock a lot. I know it's crazy. Everyone always thinks like, wow, AMC really takes up a lot of your time. But you got to remember, guys, I am an investor just like you guys are an investor, and I'm always looking for the best place to put my money. Now, obviously, right now, the best place to put my money would be into ADA, Cardano. But hey, that's another story all in itself. It's up to $2.95 right now. Look at that thing, up there to $2.95. We talked about it back in July when it was $1. So if you're stuck on the AMC train and you missed out on the Cardano trade, well, there you go. Check them out, crypto.com. All right, let's talk about the chart here on AMC. These are all lines that we drew just the other day here when I made a video talking about AMC. And I know people commented as well about how I only make videos on AMC when it's crashing or when it's red on the day. So today, AMC is $36.92. So it's green. It's green on the day. You guys could all be happy. You could be happy that I made a video on a green day here. Well, here it is. Up there to $36.90 right now. And you can see these yellow lines. These are areas of support and resistance. We drew these lines the other day. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens again if AMC pushes up here to the $40 level. Does it break and does it go higher? The thing for me, number one, I do want to say, number one, is I do own shares of AMC at this point. I have been kind of just buying AMC shares randomly, thinking like, hey, you know, I've made worse bets in my life, right? Like I've made bets that are far more outlandish than the idea of AMC going to $100 at this point. So, you know, I've been buying a little bit of AMC as we go, just kind of messing around, and nothing too crazy, but I have been buying some shares on these dips. As long as we hold, I talked about this in the video in the past already, you know, as long as we hold this $30 area, that's going to be very bullish. Anything below $30 is going to be a little bit bearish because then it's kind of confirming if we can't hold this $30 level, that 15 would be our next level. Now, I don't know about you guys, but even if I believe that AMC is going to the moon, I don't really want to be holding it with a $35 price level or an average, you know, my cost average. I don't want to be holding that down to the $15 area. Let's just be honest, guys. I know everybody, you know, is like, I'll keep buying until it goes to zero. But as a investor, you know, I really don't want to be holding shares of a company when it goes from $35 down to 15. Now, does that mean it's going to happen? No. Don't get your panties in a bunch just yet. The key, like I said, this week for AMC is it just needs to break out of this $30 to $40 channel. This has been the daily chart we're looking at right now. You can look at the hourly chart pushing up there pretty strong again to that $37 level. We had trouble with that $38 level, $39 level last week. And when I say we, it's just easier for me to talk about the stock when I say we or, you know, AMC, whatever you want to do. But what's interesting here is we look at the hourly chart. Let's look at the hourly chart here. We have made I would say a higher low. So on Friday, we made a higher low at the $32 level. We held that $32 there on Friday, that 32.50 area. We held there, and now you see today gapping up. Big old gap up from the $34 area. Had a little bit of a pullback, retesting that gap there, but still holding here as the day gets started on Monday, August 23rd. So AMC pushing up the $37 level. Again, looking at the daily chart here, very clear to see what we got going. We had the low on this candle down to that $29 area. We had the low on this candle down to the $29.40 area. And then the low here on this candle, we had down to the $32 area. So in theory, here with the idea of making lower highs and with the idea of making a higher low, especially after this right here, having this dump from the $36 area down there to 31, and then breaking right through that and kind of making a higher high there off of that move. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting pattern to see, and that's kind of why I've been kind of thinking about it over the weekend and looking at it and thinking like, man, I don't believe, at the end of the day, the AMC is going to go to $1 million or $100,000 or $10,000 or, $1,000 at this point. But there is potential that if we break over 40, that we can, push up here to the $50 area and maybe retest the highs up there at the $64 area. The one thing that I want to point out as well, guys, is GME, GameStop. This is the chart on GameStop. We had the big squeeze that went from $27 up there to $4.80. It crashes back down. But you can see in general how much different. Obviously, you had this big major pump on GameStop. It crashed back down. It kind of pushed back up there. And now this chart is going to obviously look a lot more like AMC in general here as we've kind of went sideways, very similar to AMC. Looking at the chart, you can see, I wouldn't say there's like exact replica, but this is just kind of what I'm thinking, right? We had this high at 340 multiple times getting stuck there. I would expect that if AMC can push up to that $60 level again, to this area again, we're obviously going to have a lot of resistance there at the $60 level. So AMC would get, would get stuck. Technically, looking at the chart, that would be my target. If I'm buying here at the 30s, my target is up here at the 60s. If we can't break through 60, well, then obviously I'm taking profit. And, like I said in the beginning of this video, I am, I'm a bull in terms of the idea of if this breaks over 40 and gets moving again, but I'm also realistic in my trading and my ideas with trading. So that's one thing that I'm focused on is, if AMC can hold that $32 area, well, then we can get the move higher. And again, going back to that idea here, going back, like I said, that the market can stay irrational longer than I can stay solvent. And that kind of goes back to the idea of like, can I trade AMC? Should I trade AMC? Is AMC going to go to the moon? What is really going on with AMC right now? And well, you can see AMC, it's up there at $36. So I did want to make a video today on a green day, on a green note, share some good news with you guys. I like this little return, right? This little reversal candle is beautiful here on the daily chart for Friday. AMC had a pretty good close on Friday. It couldn't break over 40 on Friday for my options, but, it's still a bounce right off of that EMA. That is I believe that's the 50 moving average there. I believe that's the 50 moving average. Yeah, that's actually the 100. So that's the 100 EMA there on the daily chart that we bounced off of multiple times. So again, that support there on the 100 EMA, we've got the support there at the $30 level. Now the big question comes down, can AMC push above $40? Can it get going to the moon once again? So that's the big question. But again, it goes back to the saying, like I said at the beginning of this video, for me personally, is I need to understand that at the end of the day, even if I don't believe that AMC is going to go to $1 million or it's going to go to $1,000 or even $10,000 or anything like that, even if I don't believe in the movement, well, the market, the stock itself can stay irrational much longer than I can stay solvent buying puts or shorting it or trying to hold it and vice versa. And that works as well with the idea of being a long. If I'm long AMC and I'm holding it forever, well, there comes a chance, I understand that you can hold shares forever, but that money that is losing value or it's going down or the stock's going sideways and never goes back up, that money can be put to other uses instead of just sitting and holding one stock. So that's kind of the idea. Even you could be a bull and the market can be irrational. You could be a bear, the market can be irrational. Either way, bears, bulls both lose money on a stock that's just being irrational, maybe going sideways or maybe just not going in the direction that you really want it to go. And even, when you believe wholeheartedly that you think something's going to go up or you think something's going to go down, when you have that feeling, that belief, it doesn't mean it's going to come true. It doesn't mean it's even going to work out because, like I said, the stock market can stay irrational much longer than you can stay solvent. So that's the chart breakdown on AMC. That's the thought process on AMC, the emotional thought process. Really kind of just waiting to see what happens if we can break above 40. I know it sounds silly, but if we break above 40, well then, obviously we have that next big push up towards that $50 level here on AMC today. Or, well, we got that $37 level right now. I'm just really interested. I'm honestly, beyond being a bear, beyond being a bull, beyond being anything with the stock at this point, I'm just interested to see what happens. Like, how does this story end? Do the apes actually win here? Do they win or do they lose? Who wins in the end? When will this story be finished? At some point, this story will be finished. At some point, the world will go back to normal and the irrationalness will, come into play and people will start to sell the stock. But in general, the question really comes down to what will happen now? What will happen now? We'll find out. I guess we'll find out in a couple months. We will find out. If you guys haven't already, do me one big favor. Hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I'll talk to you guys later on.